Alright then everyone, welcome to the podcast. I am here with a good friend of mine, Mr. Scott. So,
Hello.
Scott's got a Twitch. I'll link it in the description for shits and giggles, for the laughs. It's quite, he streams 3 times a week, so I'll link the Twitch in the description. So,
Yep.
yeah, anyway, so today we will be talking about pretty much every single animated film from our childhoods. I haven't watched anything that's come out after 2014
Yep.
that's animated, but we'll mostly be talking about 3D films.
Yeah, because with 2D, it's one of those. It's always going to be Disney, except for, like, maybe The Odd Couple.
Yeah, I can't really think of many 2D films that aren't. The Prince of Egypt, but I never saw that. That was a DreamWorks one, wasn't it?
Yeah, DreamWorks, Prince of Egypt. It's
It was
pretty good. It's worth a watch.
Yeah,
Even though it's a religious film, it's not bad.
yeah.
Like, it follows the story of two brothers and being down in your throat religious.
Okay. Maybe one day, because a lot of people on YouTube have said that it's quite kick-ass, so quite a great film. But yeah, anyway, first film we'll get into is the Toy Story trilogy, because that's where it all kicked off. That's where it all started. So might as well start at the beginning.
It is.
So the first Toy Story is because previous films about toys have been like horror films with dolls coming to life, or I don't know, other rubbish or whatever. I don't know. There was one about this dude who buried a load of toys at a warehouse. My mate told me about it, and then all the toys came out and smashed up the warehouse. I can't remember. It was a pretty low level film. But yeah, so they're making a film about toys, and it's quite family friendly, really. There's a couple of scenes that are a bit bad for kids, I guess, like the scene with the baby doll's head on that weird metal spider thing or whatever it was.
So, fun little fact, originally, with Toy Story, Woody was supposed to be a much more, douchebaggy character.
Okay.
But they changed him because they thought the original character was too violent for kids.
What did the original character do, then?
You can find up, old footage of it where it's, they're in sketch form, though.
Okay.
But, for example, he would abuse the other toys and everything. All that.
Okay.
For example, when Buzz gets thrown out the window, originally Woody actually properly threw him out of the window. He did fall out by an accident.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but they changed it because the character they felt was not good for kids.
It'd be quite hard to redeem a geezer like that who pushes someone out of a window. Like, the thing is with Woody, you sort of, I don't know, he's used to having all this attention off Andy and being sucked up to and being the main toy. And then Buzz comes along and pushes him aside and, all this bullshit. And then Woody's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, I'm the top dog. But he doesn't do anything awful. But he, what did he originally do to Buzz? Wasn't he planning on pushing him out the window, but then he accidentally got pushed out, and they thought it was him? I swear it was something like that. I don't know. Crazy, man. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, don't worry.
Okay. But yeah, it was quite mad. And then, obviously, Woody and Buzz. I liked how there was a bit of identity bullshit, because Buzz actually thought that he was a spaceman. I thought that was quite sick, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite cool. And then he found...
one of the things I do like about Toy Story is, they found the dynamic of the toys not really knowing they're toys.
Yeah. And it's quite sick how Potato Head can, I don't know... Like in the one film, Potato Head's wife, I can't remember her name, but she covers the one eye, she can see out the other eye, that's under the bed. I like how they actually work like proper toys. I thought Sid was an alright villain as well, because you can sort of, he doesn't know that he's abusing toys until the end, I sort of feel sorry for the lad, to be fair. But yeah, overall just.
You haven't seen Toy Story 4, so I'll cover that one. Since we're doing the trilogy, you may as well do all of them.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, I'm not bothered about spoilers because I probably won't even see it. But yeah. So now
I'll cover Toy Story 4 when we get there. But let's cover the actual trilogy. Let's cover the trilogy properly first.
Yeah. So number 2 was quite funny. I love that owl bloke in it. He was fucking hilarious. Oh
yeah, Al's toy barn.
Like he was a total dickhead, but he was just so funny, man. He offers Andy's mum, doesn't he offer her like $3,000 or something for Woody? And then she's like, no, fuck off, sorry Al, you're not having this shit, mate. And then he's like, "Grr!" And then he just steals Woody. And he steals a fucking kid's toy. He's such a fucking lunatic.
So I can actually explain why he does that.
It's to sell Woody, isn't it, to different to collectors.
So it's not really explained in the movies, but if you look into it, Woody's actually a legit one of a kind. There was only one made.
Yeah.
So he's actually a really valuable collector's item.
Yeah. How much do you reckon he was worth then? In the
well, going off of Al's reaction, easily in like a couple million, maybe even more.
What a bastard, only paying a $3,000, absolute total prick.
Yeah, well, it's because like no one else unless you're an obsessed collector like he was, I don't think you would have known the value of that toy.
Yeah, well the thing is, he had the whole collection, didn't he? He had Jesse the Prospect.
Yeah, he had everything but Woody, because as I said they only ever made one Woody toy.
The Prospector.
Before the show went under.
The horse, and which else?
I will say, Stinky Pete was not really a good villain.
No, he was a bit. He was a bit like.
I can kind of understand not wanting to be broken, like toys, and wanting to be reserved, but it feels like it was just an excuse to get a villain in the movie at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with everything. Even though we had Zurg show up, who could have easily acted as a villain, because he was in the same situation Buzz was, of not knowing he's a toy. Yeah,
but they just sort of push Zurg aside, really, because they're made...
Yeah, that was just more for a side joke for the other Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. And the alien...
I feel like they could have made Zurg the actual villain of the movie, because, again, he doesn't know he's a toy, so he could have actually posed a threat to the gang.
Yeah.
Obviously not to the people, but to the gang.
Yeah.
But no, he was kind of there just a throwaway gag with the other Buzz.
Yeah, just the cheeky Darth Vader ripoff.
Yeah.
So, one more thing about it, though. He already had the 3 other toys, so he probably could have made a decent few quid off that.
Yeah, I think the thing is collabs like that, they're only really valuable if you have the whole set.
Oh, the whole set. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Collections, things like that are only valuable if the entire set's there.
Yeah.
It's like... how do I describe this in a good way? I need to find a good example just to, what things do people just collect?
Trading cards, Lego,
I'll put it this way. Imagine you buy okay, I'm going to use Yu-Gi-Oh for this example.
Yeah.
Imagine you buy a Yu-Gi-Oh deck online, but it only comes with 39 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the one card you're missing is also a valuable piece you need to make the deck work.
Yeah.
In that sense, you just wasted money on a deck that's not even going to work now, and you can't even play because you haven't got the money.
So it's because remember, wasn't there those 3 cards at the top? There was one that had 10,000 attack points, and then there had 10,000 defense points or something ridiculous. And there was 3 proper elite cards for Yu-Gi-Oh.
The Egyptian gods.
That's it, yeah. So I guess it's only having 2 of them instead of having 3.
Yeah, it's your deck's built around the Egyptian gods, but when you bought the deck, you only had 2 of them, and you're missing the most important one.
Yeah. So
that's an example of it, I guess.
Do you reckon the Egyptian god cards are worth much then?
Oh no, they're just average everyday cards you can buy now.
Oh, okay.
They either release bundles that come with all 3, as well as a mimic of Yugi's deck.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
The small thing to those Yu-Gi-Oh fans, Yugi's deck was not good. He won via lucky draws half the time.
But I thought
his deck was not well put together.
I thought Yu-Gi-Oh transformed into the other version of himself though.
Yami, yeah. Yami was good at dueling, but a lot of Yugi's deck itself was very mismatched compared to nowadays.
Oh, okay.
It was maybe it was good at the time, ish, but it did feel like Yugi's main win condition was always the Egyptian gods once he got them.
Yeah.
There are several fights that Yugi would not have won if he didn't draw an Egyptian god at that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or won via old school Yu-Gi-Oh bullshit rule.
Oh, okay.
Because old school Yu-Gi-Oh was a fucking mess of a game. It was filled with exploits.
Okay.
But we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
Topic's not you. The topic of the conversation is not you, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe we'll have a discussion after the podcast, maybe.
yeah,
Depends if either of us can be bothered to continue it.
maybe.
But anyway, yeah, so the second one's not, like, pretty good. It shows, like, there's another value to toys, I guess, since, like, there's the whole collecting side of them.
Yeah.
But the villain of the movie kind of just comes out of nowhere, and whilst, like, I guess I can understand his motive, he's not a good villain.
I think
he feels just kind of there.
Yeah.
Kind of a villain.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Al is sort of an antagonist, but the problem with him is that he can't interact with the toys. He's just talking to himself and going, "You can make me big, bucks." To be honest, with Al though, he's such a greedy bastard, man. He already owns his own fucking massive superstore. Isn't that enough for you?
Well, I mean, what's worth more, a superstore that sells toys, or potentially
Millions.
like several $1 million for a collection?
True.
Hell, he probably spent more money on buying the entire collection itself.
Yeah. But all I will say is, what I don't understand, Al's the big boss. He's the chairman of Al's Toy Barn. Why the fuck is he the mascot outside? It's like,
That's actually another thing that's quite funny. He's the fucking mascot
you've worked your way to the top, and then you're the fucking mascot outside going, Al's Toy Barn. At the end, he's crying. He's like,
I started at the bottom, not much has changed.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't understand him, man. And also, what I was, oh yeah, he stars in the adverts as well when he's meant to be he should be chilling in the office all day. He shouldn't be doing all this shit. But yeah, Toy Story 2, great film. It expands the universe. We get more of the other toys. So brilliant, great film. Now on to the third one. So the third one, it's Andy's all grown up now. He's he's going to college soon, and he looks at his toys, and he's like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. So the villain Toy Story 3, Lotso, actually is a good villain. Like you can relate to his pain of why he's doing what he's doing.
We can get why.
He's going far with it. Like he's gone full on dictator, but you can see why he's like that.
Well, it's because that what's her name, Bonnie, or is that the
No, it's not Bonnie, it's someone else.
Yeah.
Bonnie's the girl that they end up with at the end.
Oh, okay.
Who Andy gives the toys away to.
Yeah. Lotso's the owner, not the Lotso's former owner accidentally forgets her. Well, the parents forget him. They should be like, "Oh, where's your toy?"
They go for this massive trek to try and get back to her, only to find he was replaced when they got back.
Yeah, sadly.
That's the thing, though. Only he was replaced. So
Yeah.
But he twisted it on the other two.
Yeah. He's like, she doesn't love you anymore.
Yeah. She don't love you no more.
Amazing. Yeah, he was quite.
No, but that's showing a bit of his manipulation there, though, as well.
Yeah, the master manipulator.
Yeah.
You know what, though? He really wasn't redeemable in the end, because after the toy saved his life, he could have saved their lives by stopping the trash thing, but he just walks off.
That's the thing, like, they could have redeemed him, but, like, I'm glad they chose not to.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, one of those things, like, not everyone changed, like, as well, like...
True. Some people never change, do they?
In the movie, because knowing if Disney had made it, the villain either would have ended up dead at the end of the movie, or somehow redeemed and become best friends with characters.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that they showed in that movie that not everyone can be redeemed, and some people don't want. You know.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm glad they did that.
And we had that amazing scene at the end when they're all about to go into the kiln.
Yeah, that scene's fucking amazing.
But then the aliens saved their lives. Absolute dons, those geezers are. Potato Head should have been more thankful instead of abusing them all the time. But yeah. Overall, amazing film, loads of fun, love it. Yeah, the trilogy was sick. Do you want to talk about the fourth one? Because I've got no idea what happened.
Yep. So, Toy Story 4 is an interesting one. So, the villain in this one is another one that's actually quite good. Gabby.
Yeah, the doll.
So what's the goal of a toy in the Toy Story to be played with, right? Gabby is a toy that never got played with because her voice box was defunctioned from the start. so she wasn't played with and was just put in an antique store. She held on to. Right. But anyway, I need to cover the full movie, not just the villain, so I'm going to go from the beginning. So, this Toy Story 3 follows the toys after... Sorry, Toy Story 4 follows the toys after Toy Story 3 with Bonnie, where, they basically, as you know, continue to get played with. Woody is actually one of Bonnie's least played with toy now.
Rip.
Which, you know, is quite a step down from where he was, considering with Andy, he was literally Andy's favourite toy. And now with Bonnie, he's the one that's up in the closet most of the time. Right?
Mm-hmm.
On, like, Bonnie's family decided to go on a road trip. I missed a step. So, Bonnie's going to, school, like, not preschool, like, proper school, right? And she starts, Woody decides to go along with her in her bag secretly to, like, look after her because, yeah, it's a kid's first day of school, he's a toy.
Yeah.
He notices that she's not really, like, making many friends, so she ends up literally making a friend, which is Forky. And so she takes a fork, puts some googly eyes on it, and all that, and literally makes a friend, as Woody describes it. Now, Forky is actually an interesting part of this movie, because whilst he's there for gags, he kind of also is having an existential crisis most of the movie. Because he's supposed to be trashed, like, thrown away and never used. But instead, he's now got sentience and doesn't understand why, or no, and doesn't want it. Like, throughout the entire movie, like, he is trying to get back into a trash. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Until, like, some bit later where he has, like, a revelation or something.
It sounds like a bit of a midlife crisis.
Yeah, literally. That's what Forky's having the entire time.
Okay.
There is a bit later, obviously, where he snaps out of it and stops having it. But, but that's not until way later in the movie.
Mm-hmm. So, did they end it well then? Is this the final one they'll do, do you reckon?
Yeah, this looks like the final one. Like, if they make another one, it can't be involving Woody because of how the movie ends.
Because he says goodbye.
I could probably continue to help explain to people. Yeah. So, Bonnie's family go on a road trip with her new toy, right? And on that road trip, they come by a fair, and Woody, the fair is near the antique store, right? And Woody notices Bo Peep's lamp, but without Bo Peep there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up sneaking out to go look for her, and ends up running into Gabby Gabby, who finds out Woody has a working voice box and wants. Woody ends up escaping and ends up in the fair where he actually runs into Bo Peep. Yeah. Bo Peeps are running kind of like a freelance toy life in the sense that she hasn't got one child. She just goes where she wants, played with by whoever people find her, and goes when she's done. Right? In a way. After, so Woody has to get Forky is still in the store, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the conflict in the movie is like Woody needs to get Forky back from the store, Gabby, while Spoke trying to convince him to stop this life of a toy where you have to have an owner. Said, right? At the end of the movie, Woody willingly gives up his voice box to Gabby so that she can experience being played with.
Okay.
And this is actually a heartbreaking moment. The child Gabby's been wanting her to play with her this entire time, after she uses her voice box to get the child to go over, picks her up and then just drops her in a trash bin. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
It is. It is when you consider Gabby's thing. So Gabby and Bo Peep and Woody decide to stay at the fair to live that freelance life and help the toys in the fair games get owners. But whilst trying to get the other toys back to Bonnie before the family leave.
Yeah.
They find a girl who's lost, is crying, and Gabby and Woody ends up encouraging Gabby to go be there and comfort her, and so Gabby ends up getting a home from that.
Okay.
But Woody and Bo Peep decide to stay at the fair, so there's a heartfelt goodbye from Woody to Buzz and the other toys.
Yeah, because they've been through so much, haven't they?
Yeah, and then Woody leaves the gang and stays at the fair of Bo Peep.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, the movie ends with them basically. You see them basically rigging the fair games so the toys get homes.
Okay. Fair dues. So would you say it's quite good then?
I think it was. It's one of those. It wasn't needed, but they still put effort into it.
Ah, that's all right then.
Yeah, they didn't just they didn't just half-ass it. They actually did put an effort in to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why people would dislike it though, because it does feel like it's unneeded because of how the third one ended.
Yeah,
The third one could have just ended there, but they chose to continue. But they still put an effort into it, and like I said, the villain's relatable, and you can understand their motive. And they're not completely evil; they just want to be played with.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, fair dues.
Yeah.
Next film. Well, the next two films are two films that came out in the same year, and a lot of people think are the same. So the first one is Ants. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I know this one.
Because
So they actually kind of are. So the person, so both Life and Ants kind of are the same, but also a tiny bit aren't.
mm-hmm.
So the reason for this is one of the people working on Bugs Life got fired from the production, and so he went to a rival company to make Ants as kind of like a ticket to Pixar. So technically, it was they were Disney Pixar at the time.
Okay.
Basically, he was trying to stick it to them there and prove he could make a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
So going off how Ants was, I haven't seen Ants in a fair number of years, but I don't remember it being overly good.
Really?
The CGI was also not that good back then.
Oh, I quite liked it.
I think Ants came out after Toy Story, so the
Yeah,
CGI
1998.
took a step down.
Personally, I really liked Ants. I liked how gritty it was. I liked how it was more adult. I liked how all the ants went to war against the termites or the beetles or whatever there were. Even though Woody Allen's character is a bit of a weirdo and a bit of a pervert, it's sort of like he's going to therapy in the first scene, so not everything's going right in his life. And then he's just like, he gets a bit obsessive when the what's her name, the princess dances with him at this club, but he doesn't know that she's the queen's daughter or whatever, the ant queen's daughter. But he somehow ends up going on a massive expedition with her, and there's this Gene Hackman voices this general, and he's quite good as the bad guy. And Christopher Walken's a bad guy. He doesn't really fit in though. It's just sort of silly. But yeah, quite a decent film.
People don't understand what they fear to know.
Yeah, but
terrible Christopher Walken impression.
But yeah, decent film. Nothing great, but I personally really liked it. I personally enjoyed it. But as a film itself, from a fan's perspective, I suppose it's alright. I personally like it slightly better than Bugs Life, just because it's more adult and more gritty. And I think I like the voice actors better in it.
Yeah, it literally comes down to which you prefer. They're both, but at the end of the day, they are kind of the same. It pretty much comes down to complete personal preference.
Yeah.
Some might like the more adult theme, some might like the more childish theme. But at the end of the day, they are kind of the same concept. So instead of termites, it's grasshopper.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Yeah, I can't believe Kevin Spacey voiced Hopper, man. That is so creepy.
I mean, okay, I will say this. Even though, Ants is the more mature of the two, Hopper was a fucking scary villain.
True, yeah.
When you look at it, I think out of the villains in the two movies, Hopper was the better villain. He actually kind of felt intimidating.
Yeah.
He was not above outright killing characters, and he showed it on screen.
Yeah, because he killed his own two grasshoppers who were just having a laugh.
He killed some of his own men as well. He was not above it.
Yeah.
And that's something I like Hopper as a villain for that. He was definitely the better villain in my book.
Yeah. I mean, the general, he just wanted to eradicate everything, but for Hopper, he just wanted to survive. So
Yeah, well, it wasn't just survival. Like he wanted to implant in the ants that they were slaves
That
to serve
too.
the grasshoppers, and that's it.
yeah,
And like his entire plan was built around that because it basically gave them an infinite supply of food as long as the ants keep collecting it, and the ants collecting it as long as they believed they were below grasshoppers.
yeah. I loved
And
how.
like, Hopper himself even states, like, the ants outnumber them 100 to 1, and if they ever learn that, then their plan falls apart.
Yeah, I loved how they tried to make a fake bird to scare him, then they made a real bird. No, a real bird came in.
A fake bird to scare him, and then a real bird showed up.
Yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah.
The circus people were quite decent banter as well. I don't know. The ants just got on my nerves how much they were just dickheads to Flick, though.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool that the circus people treated him with respect. But Flick lied to the circus people. We need performers to come, and then we're like, oh, and we need you to fight. Then Flick wants that big bug to like step on his head and kill him, like to stomp on his head. He's like, just kill me, just end my life. And it's like, oh, yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah, decent film, but as I say, I prefer ants. So yeah. Next, the first Shrek. Do you want to talk about all the 4 Shrek films?
Yeah, sure. So we're on Shrek now, okay. So
yeah.
Shrek is probably one of those like old school trilogies that actually definitely did something. It's up in the air if you like how you wanted to consider that something, but they did something.
Yeah.
So original Shrek actually was it was one of those they were basically trying to make it was supposed to be making fun of Disney movies.
Pretty much how they're quite generic. How it's the perfect princess falls in love with the perfect.
That was their game.
Yeah, with the perfect bloke, and then they live happily ever after.
Yeah, that was the whole point of it. Was to make just to poke fun at Disney and Disney's formula of everything always works out. Everything's always perfect.
Yeah, everything's quite black and white and generic and boring, but it's not.
Yeah. And so that's why they made Shrek.
Yeah, but I mean, at the start, everyone absolutely hated Shrek, and he loved it though. He didn't care what people thought. He was happy.
Yeah, Shrek reveled in it.
Yeah, he was happy and content on his own. But then Donkey finds out, yeah, this dude's a decent bloke,
I think the thing there with the development in Shrek is Donkey Shrek's been was neglected all his life, so he learned to just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But Donkey's the first character who sees past all that.
Yeah, he just judges him for his personality, not that he's a big ogre.
Yeah.
So it was quite cool though how if Farquaad hadn't have dumped all those fairy tale creatures on his land, Shrek would have probably had a pretty depressing life in the long run. For the short term, for about 10 years, he would have been happy, but then he probably would have been a bit down and bored. But, yeah, if Farquaad hadn't have dumped all those geezers there, he would have never gone to the castle, and he would have never met the love of his life, Fiona.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you watch Shrek, I've watched Shrek quite a lot of times, the first one, and it's good, but I don't know, there isn't much. If you watch it loads and loads, it sort of feels kind of like, alright, we're here now, we're at Farquaad's castle and we're fighting these people. Then we rescue the princess. Then they have a few hijinks and laughs and they've performed some chemistry. Then there's this sad moment. Then the dragon comes and eats Farquaad and they live happily ever after and get married. So it's worth a few watches, but it's not the best thing ever, but it's solid. It is quite solid. And the meaning behind it is quite good. So... Now, on to Shrek 2 then, unless you got anything else you want to add about the first one.
No, the first one's just one of those, it's a decent watch, it's not super groundbreaking, but it's one of those, though you do find a lot of innuendos in it that you don't, there's a lot of innuendos you seem to find on each watch that you didn't notice before.
Yeah. So yeah, Shrek 2, just totally kicks the first one out, blows it out.
Shrek 2, it's not a perfect movie, but it's a perfect sequel.
As Schaefer has said, yeah, it is really the perfect sequel.
He said it the best. I would check out his video which is an analysis of it, because he sums it up perfectly.
Yeah.
It's in no way a perfect movie, because a perfect movie doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But in terms of that, there is such a thing as a perfect sequel, and he sums it up perfectly on how that is.
Yeah, totally, man. Really is great. Yeah. I mean, the jokes hit perfectly. They have more characters in it. They have way more environments in it. The villain is perfect, and the villain's even got a her son Prince Charming, who's like a side villain who's quite entertaining in the second film. Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is quite entertaining in it as well. He's a great laugh.
He's a fun character.
Yeah. The scene where they're busting into the... Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, sorry about the first one and this one, the music choices are perfect. For even though we said the first one is just a decent watch, and it's good, but it's nothing like groundbreaking. The music choices are great, and in the second one, the music choices are also amazing. It's cool how, like, in the second one, Shrek is trying to win society over, not just win a woman and his best friend over, win society over now. And it's quite it's quite cool how at first Harold's like a bit of a piece of shit to him, but then he realises eventually it's about my daughter's happiness at the end of the day. It ain't about being perfect, is it?
Well, a lot of that is because like he wanted like Fiona to get married to Charming because he made that deal with Fairy Godmother to get his happily ever after.
Yeah.
As well, but in the end he realised that like I said, it's no point doing that if his daughter isn't going to be happy. The relation. So he ends up accepting Shrek at the end.
Yeah, the star
decides to that it's Fiona. That it's Fiona's happily ever after, not another one of his.
Yeah, but Fairy Godmother was just a amazing villain.
Yeah, she's entertaining as fuck.
I'm sorry I'm laughing at this, but I just can't get over that they said in the film, what does he find? Some gender-confused wolf! Telling...
Yeah. Also, I love how, like, far away is just fucking, like...
Hollywood.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
In, like, the Shrek universe.
Yeah. It's pretty banterous, to be fair, far ways. And that scene where Mongo destroys the giant gingerbread man destroys the one Starbucks and they just go into the other Starbucks. That was fucking amazing.
I'm pretty sure that's a jab at current day society, but still very good.
Well, that joke is like so far ahead of its time. But it's perfect for now, because everyone's just... There's so many Starbuckses, it's unreal.
Yeah.
But, Shrek 2, phenomenal. Love it. Absolutely fantastic. Probably, I know it's a bit of a push, but it might be better than Toy Story 1, 2 and 3, in my opinion. Just because of how amazing the jokes are, and it's more... For me, it's more adult. Yeah. It's so funny. It's such an easy watch.
Like, it's still a kids' movie, but they slip in something for the adults.
Yeah. The music...
Which is, like, a lot of movies nowadays do that, because they realise that adults are probably going to watch to their kids, give them something to deal with it.
Yeah.
A lot of shows, actually... Even in the past, a lot of shows used to do that, but we'll cover that in a different podcast. Maybe a cartoon.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shrek 3. This one kind of took a nosedive.
Yeah, so obviously, first one...
Shrek 3 took a huge nosedive in comparison to Shrek.
Yeah, I mean, first one, decent watch. Second one, fucking phenomenal. Third one, absolute
I'm pretty
twaddle.
sure, like, if the first one was walking, the second was sprinting, and the third was hitting a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth one was getting back up and walking again.
Yeah. I mean...
The fourth one's not bad.
Yeah.
The third one is... Like, okay, we'll cover the third one first, and then we'll get to the fourth.
Yeah.
That's going to be its own... That's definitely going to have to be its own discussion, still. So the fourth one, it's just kind of replaying the plot slightly, but it's not needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
like, Charming's back as the villain, for some reason. Shrek doesn't want to be king, so even though they went through the whole thing of him trying to, like, win over society, Shrek 2. For some reason, King Arthur's here now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's just one of those.
I mean, one thing for me that I didn't like about it was just the total utter laziness. To be honest,
Yeah,
I mean,
it felt lazy.
when they went to Worcester High School or University or whatever you want to call it, and the thing that annoyed me is that they sailed to Worcester, which I don't know where Shrek lives or whatever, but Worcester doesn't have a bay. Worcester doesn't have a bloody bay, or it isn't near the sea or anything. Worcester's in the middle of land, so I didn't really. It's just little things like that are just so lazy. And the jokes are so lazy, and they have a scene where they're smoking weed, and it's like, oh, don't burn my frankincense and myrrh, and it's like, oh, come on, lads, let's come up with some better shit.
Yeah, the jokes felt very, as well. Yeah.
Charming's Theatre, that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in film history.
Oh, yeah, fucking theatre.
Like, I've watched a lot of films, and that was hard to watch even as a kid. I didn't even mind Shrek 3 much when I was a kid, but that scene was absolute dog shit. And I rewatched Shrek 3 recently, and I just thought, what? I didn't get to the end. I couldn't be asked, because I was actually paying attention to it, and I just couldn't be asked to get to the end, because I knew what scene came up when he was like, with perfect hair!
Yeah, like...
And it's like, oh, man.
Charming's that stereotypical person who who has dreams of fucking grandeur.
Yeah.
But, no,
he was basically like the shittest version of Farquaad, like a just absolute rubbish.
Yeah, he was the worst Farquaad.
Because at least Farquaad was
and
kind of
Farquaad was
funny.
a pretty one-dimensional villain too.
Yeah, but Farquaad was actually quite funny with the "some of you may die, but it is a risk,
But that is a risk
I am willing to take."
I'm willing to take.
And then-
Basically fucking British government.
And then everyone's just clapping for him
Yeah.
because they
Some
have
of
the
you
clap
may
song.
die, but that is a risk I'm willing to make.
And he's like, Ogre,
Although
you
they'll
have
be like, what is that?
You
oh,
ha-
it's hideous. That's not very nice. It's just a donkey.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah. He's just a pompous buffoon, quite banterous, quite funny.
Yeah, but the jokes of Farquaad are funny. Like the idea is there's so many of innuendos to hint to his height. The thing is, when you're a kid, you think that's oh, it's because he's short, but then in your adult, you're like, oh, it's because he has a small dick as well.
Think
That's
maybe
what,
he's
they can't
compensating for something.
As a kid, you don't know what that means. As an adult, you do.
Yeah, it's quite class.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by Shrek. There's a lot of innuendos like that you just kind of find every time you watch it as you get older. There's always another new joke you didn't know about until another watch.
Yeah. So, yeah. But Shrek 3, just a total bag of arse. One of the worst animated, probably one of the worst films ever, because it's just so boring. And the sad thing is,
I wouldn't put it in the worst films. Yes, it's boring and it's not good, but there's a number of films that are way worse.
But the thing is though, they had such a big budget in it, and it fell.
Actually pretty decent.
And it fell so far down the shitter. It fell so far down the shitter. That's why it's just an absolute load of dog shit for me. I mean, I have seen worse, but I don't know. The worst films that I've seen have a shit budget usually. There are some high-level films that have high budget.
I mean, if you want to look at a film that had a big budget and still came out dog shit, look at Food Fight.
Oh yeah. Well, how much went into that again?
65 million.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, never mind. Shrek 3 is not one of the worst then. I thought Food Fight only had a million put into it or something shit because the animation.
Well, apparently, originally the film was stolen.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't want to talk about Food Fight, by the way, because that's just another level of shit. There's no point.
Yeah, that could be an entire podcast on its own, dissecting that movie.
Maybe one day, but not today. So yeah, Shrek Forever After, sorry. I didn't like that when I was a kid, but growing up I thought, yeah, pretty decent, I guess. Not as good as 1, but alright. Yeah. Not really much I can say. It was just It's a Wonderful Life meets Shrek, really. Shrek gets pissed off, wishes he was his life away, and then he has to get it back from the crazy dictator, Shane Dawson. So, I'm just ripping off Schreifer's jokes, but yeah. Good, decent film.
Then, of course, there's the whole, there's just Rumpelstiltskin's, fucking contracts, which are, he's Rumpelstiltskin's, that person of, you don't make deals with them because you know they're going to take everything. like if you agree to it.
Yeah, it's sort of like
There's always a fine print.
it's sort of like a kid's version of the like a more childish version of the devil from Rick and Morty. He'll give you anything, but there's a massive, massive price. So
I think funny enough, the song in Princess and the Frog sums it up perfectly. Of Friends on the Other Side, because there's a specific line in that song that actually sums that up perfectly.
oh, okay.
You got what you wanted, but you lost what you had.
Oof, philosophy in it.
Yeah, because that's literally the ending song to Friends on the Other. The ending line to Friends on the Other Side is after the prince and butler accepted the Shadow Man's deal, is the puppets say that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sums that up perfectly with Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
That is basically how his contracts work.
Pretty much, sadly. I mean, I think it was a bit brutal when he Thanos'd Lillian and Harold.
Fiona's parents away,
Yeah, that was a bit brutal.
Yeah.
They wished her free, so they never existed.
See, I gave them a contract that would say all the worries would disappear.
Oh yeah, so
and
they
then
disappeared. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like the whole like the fucking wording on his contract.
Yeah.
He literally worded the contract as all your worries would disappear, and they didn't think to look at the fine print of what that could mean.
Yeah, it's
like,
just
he does it to Shrek too. It's like you gotta give a day to get a day. How about a day when you were a babe takes the day he was born?
Yeah.
So when the contract's day runs out, Shrek doesn't exist.
Smart.
I mean, you gotta give it to Rumpelstiltskin. He's fucking smart.
Yeah. He did climb his way to the top because at the start it's established that he's just the run to the litter, isn't he?
Yeah. He's fucking smart.
All I will say though, I don't feel like Shrek was dumb enough to fall for all this bollocks. I feel like someone like Donkey would have done, but Shrek, I know he was angry, but he isn't this stupid. He's wary of people.
I don't think Shrek would have I don't think, to be fair, in that situation, would you expect the day you were born to come up as like the day they were going to take without seeing it happen in a movie first?
Yeah, but I sort of think like Shrek could have just done what normal married couples do and had like just a day where he just chills out. But it would have been a boring film if that happened. So, you know.
Yeah, but I think you can kind of relate to Shrek in a way of like all those like he doesn't feel like an ogre anymore because. But the thing there is like as Fiona sums it up, you've got like a loving wife, you've got kids, you've got friends.
Yeah, true.
Like why do you need to go back to that life?
Yeah, but that isn't everything for some people. Shrek's so used to the status quo. I'm just looking at both sides of it. I just want to say one thing I really didn't like. Well, not really didn't like, but like one thing that annoyed me a bit about the Shrek films was that what you call it, you know. He had to hammer in all the time that he was an ogre. He's like, oh, for God's sake, Fiona, I am an ogre! And we're like, this has been established so much, bro.
You're
Come
acting
on.
like an ogre. Well, newsflash, I am an ogre.
Ah!
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he hammers that in a lot, that he's an ogre, and
it's like, come on, lad, everyone
not
accepts you
needed.
now. By the third film, he shouldn't be hammering in that he's an ogre. Everyone accepts him for who he is and his awesome personality. You know.
Yeah, but, if that was the case, though, he wouldn't get sequel.
Very true, very true. So yeah, next films as Shrek was done in 2001. I know it's confusing because we talk about the things that happen after, like the films that were
Well,
out
if we're covering
after.
a franchise, we'll to do the entire franchise in one go.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be bizarre. It'd be really bizarre. So yeah, the next one, Monsters Inc. 2001. I don't want to.
Monsters Inc.'s a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Monsters Uni. To be honest, I heard it was a bit
I've seen
boring.
Monsters Uni, and I'm gonna say it's your standard like college movie, just with the monster characters.
Oh, okay.
So if you like those college movies of like two people start as enemies, by the end of it are friends, you'll like Monsters University.
Okay.
It's not offensively bad or anything. It's just your standard run-of-the-mill college movie.
Okay, I never watched it, so.
Yeah, so if you've watched the fucking like another Goofy movie, you might.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh man, the
If
Goofy
you like
films.
that, you might like Monsters University because it's similar to that. It's a college movie with a fucking game.
Oh wait, are you on
That's
about the
actually
second
the main plot
Goofy
point.
film when Max is at college?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really like that
Instead
one.
of being
I like the
X
first
games,
one.
It's the Scare Games,
Okay.
but there's still like a series of games. That's the leading plot point.
No, yeah, I like the first Goofy movie, but the second one I wasn't as bothered about. I don't know.
The one where Max goes to college.
Yeah, I wasn't as bothered. Yeah.
The first Goofy movie's a fucking hit, though.
Yeah. That was class, the road trip.
Back to Monsters Inc. because we went off topic again.
Yeah. Monsters Inc. It's just about a bunch of geezers that scare kids, and then it powers their city basically, and there isn't really much to say about it really. They compete against each other. Sully's quite cool. The dude, what's his name? Mike Wazowski. He's got one eye and he's just like,
Mike Wazowski.
He's just a bit of a workaholic. He just pushes Sully to the absolute limit and gets all the doors down for him. Then this little girl called Boo comes in, and they're quite scared of her because Mr. Warner Deuce, a corrupt businessman, convinces everyone that the children are poisonous. So
Yep.
But
so to give credit where credit's due with Mr. Waternoose, he's a guy who's inherited a company from his father.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, up until this point, they already believed children were toxic. So it wasn't specifically him. I think it was just something that happened a long time ago in their society.
Okay.
Maybe one time they went through getting scared, they got sick from one of the kids or something, and it gave them the impression of, kids are toxic.
Yeah.
Maybe. But the idea is, it wasn't specifically him, that did it specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But, but you gotta look where he's coming from. His company is, dying. They're, they're getting less and less energy. Kids are getting less and less scared. He's doing... So, in the situation he's in, you would do whatever you could to try and keep your father's company alive.
Yeah.
Even though the way... because he even admits later on, that, to Randall that, he had to throw away his top scarer for this.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you can tell he's doing it out of desperation more so than Miller can.
Yeah. Alright then.
But Monsters Inc. is a good movie because, Boo somewhat shows Sully and Mike that, children's laughter is more powerful than scream.
Yeah.
And they don't have to scare kids. They don't have to scare kids to power the city.
True.
Which is good, I think. It's a good movie.
Yeah, decent film.
It hits the right notes.
Decent film, decent laughs. Not much else I could say, really.
Yeah, it's a good watch. It's not incredibly deep, but at the same time, it's still good.
It's just about two mates who are at work trying to get on with shit.
Also, funny enough, going back to Monster University real quick, the Abominable Snowman makes a cameo at the end.
Yeah, that was quite banterous.
Yeah, so small cameo there for those who saw the first one. The fucking Abominable Snowman makes cameo.
That was that. What's his name? John Ratzenberger, the dude who voices in all of them. In most.
Yeah,
of them.
the guy who I like how. Okay, so if we get to Cars, we'll point that one out.
Yeah.
Because they even poke fun of it.
Yeah, in the credits. Yeah.
Cars point fun of it as well, with that one, which is good.
Okay, yeah, but next one is Ice Age 2002. So we'll talk about all four. I know there's a fifth one, but I'd never watched that.
I haven't seen the fifth one either.
Oh, good.
After the fourth, I was like, okay, this franchise is gone.
Thank God.
And then I was like, please, just let it die. You're dancing on its grave at this point.
Well, it was Blue Sky Studios' only big hit, really. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's one of those. It's like what happened to The Simpsons. It goes on too long, and people lose interest in the previous versions as well.
Yeah, true. Except Ice Age was never as good as The Simpsons, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. That's an example, because The Simpsons is one of those shows that's gone on way too long, to a point where it's now a zombie of itself.
Yeah. Anyway, first Ice Age film had a lot of competition. And it was actually half decent. There's never really been an animated film set in prehistoric caveman times, so I quite enjoyed it. Really, I loved it when I was a kid. But looking back on it, half decent film. Sid was a lad. Manny was cool.
Yeah.
Diego.
He was the toilet humor character that every kid's film has at that time.
Yeah.
They're there purely to make toilet humor jokes for the little kids to laugh at. Manny was kind of a deep character because you find out from the cave drawings that his family were hunted.
Yeah.
And Diego is a character who's just trying to bring food for his tribe.
Yeah, but then he turns out to be a good guy and he turns into a vegetarian. No, I'm joking. But,
no, he doesn't turn into a vegetarian, but he does stay with the group though. But he ends up betraying his pack for them.
Yeah,
And
which I don't blame him, to be honest, because his group, the leader, just didn't give a care about the rest of them. The leader only cared about himself. And why do they want to eat a baby? It made no. How are they going to survive on that? Surely
it's because it's actually a state. It's supposed to be a statement to the humans because the humans took something from their pack.
Oh yeah, didn't they kill one of the cubs or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
They killed one of the cubs, I think, or something like that. So they're killing the baby is supposed to be like them making a statement.
Yeah.
Or like getting revenge, which is why they want to kill the baby.
Yeah, I mean,
if you ask me, they were going way out of their way to get revenge.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, they have an okay point, but they should probably just try and kill the person who actually killed the cub. You know.
I mean, some tigers do that in real life. If a hunter hurts them but doesn't kill them, they actually do track that hunter down and kill them.
Oh, that's a bit.
There's a story about it where where a hunter failed to kill a tiger, and the tiger tracked the human to their cabin and waited for them there, and ambushed them when they came back from hunting.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so people don't give animals enough credit. Like, they're actually pretty smart, and they can hold fucking grudges.
Yeah.
It's the same reason you've got animals that we normally are depicted as killing machines, befriending humans, and having a bond.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a fucking diver who's been best friends with a fucking tiger shark for 20 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And the shark comes up to him for head pats, literally.
That is adorable. Very scary though. Alright,
and the thing is, the shark follows his boat because it knows it's his boat, so it can be near him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't in any way show aggression towards him either. It's following the boat because it knows it's not human.
Yeah.
And whenever he dives into the water, she goes up to him for head pats.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to Ice Age. First one, pretty great. Enjoyed it. Like the adventure, like the road trip to get the baby back to his parents.
Yeah. The second one.
What do you think?
I actually liked the second one.
Oh, okay. What did you like about it?
So, okay, I like how they I felt like there was a bigger stake in this one.
Mm-hmm.
In the other one, they were just kind of doing a fetch quest for the sake of a fetch quest.
Yeah.
In this one, it felt like there was an actual, objective. It felt like, okay, they have to get to this location because the ice is melting. It's the ice age should be ending, and we're going to die if we don't.
That's a fair comment, I guess. Personally, I didn't enjoy it that much at all. I thought it was alright at
The
first.
added characters were kind of okay, Ellie was alright. Crash and Eddie felt like they were just more Sids.
Yeah.
They felt they were added just to have more Sid level stupid characters for comedy purposes.
Yeah, I didn't really like them that much.
Yeah.
But
also the bad guys in this one, besides of course the fucking vultures.
Yeah.
Were the fucking
big fish.
Those prehistoric fish animals.
Yeah.
And they felt like they were kind of a legit threat as well, because anytime the characters got near water, they showed up.
True, yeah.
And they even in the Manny's mammoth, they overpowered him in the water very easily.
Yeah.
So they actually did pose a threat. Considering in Ice Age 1, not much could challenge Manny in that movie, could they?
No, he's quite a beast.
You see him just manhandle 2 rhino things at the very fucking start.
Yeah. Quite banterous.
So this way I felt like the threat was actually a threat, because in the water they were such a big disadvantage, and they assumed the world was going to be flooded, quote unquote, and that. Also, the one thing I do find funny is how the flood ends because Sprat accidentally destroys the wall and makes an opening.
Yeah, that was quite banterous.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention Scrat's quite good.
I think that how most of the main conflicts in the movie are caused by him accidentally just trying to find a place to bury his acorn.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I swear to God, that fucking thing is immortal. Nothing can fucking kill it.
True. He's been through a lot
of shit he survives.
He's been through a lot of damage and nothing has killed him.
Yeah, but obviously that's there as the joke.
Yeah.
Of Sprat kind of just gets abused for laughs, but nothing can kill the fucker.
Pretty much.
I feel like almost all the main conflicts in the movie are caused by him via some method, as well as the solution.
Yeah. What did you think of the third one? Because I didn't like that
So-
one either, personally, but...
The third one, this is the part where you can tell they're kind of like just trying to milk it, but I do like some of the aspects to it. I actually like Buck as a character.
Simon Pegg voiced him, so...
Yeah, so Buck shows that, like, what isolation can do to a person.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, he's been on his own for however long, and he's fucking gone insane talking to himself. And
Yeah.
the thing is, people who are stuck on their own for a set period of time do actually suffer those effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do actually, like, go mental to a degree and start, like, talking to themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it's a legit effect that happens if people are on their own for long enough. So I like how the movie covered with Buck, as well as like Buck actually had some good jokes.
Mm-hmm.
The story, like the plot, Ellie being pregnant plot line, I guess makes sense considering Ellie and Manny got together at the end.
Yeah.
But it also felt like it was just another thing there to add, like. So this is actually another movie where the stake isn't that high like it was in the second one, in the sense that they were just trying to get Sid back because Sid's an idiot and decided to raise fucking dinosaur eggs.
Actually, yeah, he was being an absolute fool in that one. Because he's like, oh, I'm a
Yeah.
parent now! I'm a parent, I have a
But
family!
okay, I will give this, like, some of the jokes on Ice Age 3 were still good, though. Like, the one where he goes to try and get milk for the babies, and it's like, I thought you were a female.
Oh no.
Also, we have the one where Diego's trying to push the raptors back, like with that log, and it makes it look like he's pregnant. This is like he's doing the breathing thing, and Ellie's doing the just one good push.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's like, you have no idea what I'm going through right now. Okay, maybe you do.
Yeah.
Like, so there were some legit good jokes in the third one.
The laughing gas scene wasn't too bad neither, because even Manny was going mental in that scene.
Yeah, exactly.
That man,
The
yeah.
laughing gas was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, not much of a good film, though, personally. Some funny moments.
Yeah, it's
but
one of
not
those.
that good.
It wasn't needed, and it doesn't contribute much to the overall world and story of Ice Age. But for what it is, it's a decent watch if you're there for just the jokes and you're not looking for anything super story driven.
Yeah, because I thought the second one was the end, because
Things are caused by Sid being a dumbass again.
yeah.
No big surprise on that, and like Crash and Eddie are still a thing.
But
And their jokes do not get any better either.
But I thought that the second one was going to be the end because Manny's arc's over. He's found the other mammoths, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really. I don't
Ice
know.
Age 4.
Oh no.
This movie. Where do I start with this one?
It was weird with Sid's family showing up and then just doing one, leaving him with the
Sid's
grandma.
family showed up for a running gag.
Yeah.
His grandma's pretty funny. I will give that. Sid's grandma's actually funny.
I can't remember much of what she said.
She's like, okay, so she makes a lot of old people jokes.
Oh, okay.
So like when they get capsized on that iceberg, right? Which is what causes the big conflict in the movie, is Manny getting separated from his wife and daughter.
Mhm.
But also, Manny's a fucking helicopter parent.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But Sid's grandma up on the boat compared she was sleeping in the tree that's with them there.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, and there's like, you slept through that? It's like, I slept through the comet that wiped out the unicorns.
Weird. But
So
yeah.
she makes a lot of old people jokes, but his grandma is pretty entertaining, but she's probably like, okay, the villain is entertaining as well because of who they got to voice him. But he's basically a
Peter
fucking
Dinklage.
pirate. I don't think he's a baboon, because baboons didn't exist back in that time. He's something.
He's something.
He's a monkey of some kind. I'm just not sure what monkey it was, given the time period of the movie.
Maybe he's just some massive. Maybe he's just some massive ape or something. Because everything used to be bigger back then. So
He's not a Gigantopithecus. I know that much. He's way too small for that one.
yeah.
So he's not a Gigantopithecus. I know that.
But yeah. They just need to shoot Ice Age in the head now. You know that it's gone on too long.
Yeah. So I never watched the fifth one,
Me neither.
but I've seen the trailers, and apparently the plot of this one was there's a meteor coming to Earth that Scrat somehow caused, because of course he did.
Oh.
And now Buck's back, and apparently they need to go to this crash site of one of the meteors to find out how to stop the big one from destroying the world or something.
Weird.
But I'm assuming by the fact they're probably going to make a sixth, the meteor did not destroy them, and we can cry inside.
If the meteor destroyed them at the end, that would have been okay. I would have been happy with that ending.
I mean, they wouldn't have an excuse to make a sixth one. But I'm pretty sure they're going to make a sixth one, because the thing with Blue Sky is they're kind of lazy in the sense that if they get a movie that works, they just milk it.
Yeah.
Like they did the same with Rio. Like, Rio did okay. Like, Rio was pretty decent. So they made a sequel that didn't do as well. So they didn't do another one.
Yeah.
But that's the big problem with Blue Sky Studios is if a movie does well, they turn it into a franchise that does not need to exist for money.
Yeah.
And they end up slowly over time just killing that franchise and move to the point where not many people probably are going to go back and watch the original Ice Age and that. Just because, of what the franchise has come into, it put them off it.
Yeah, I get that. So, yeah, 2002. What came out next? There was a few in 2004. Shark Tale.
Oh, that mess. Okay.
At least Shark Tale was decent banter, though.
Okay, it's a bit of a funny watch, but it is not a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there now. It's not a good movie. It's a funny watch. You could still watch it and be entertained. It's basically Shark Tale was made in that period where characters were being designed to look like their voice actors. Oscar was basically animated to look like Will Smith.
Yeah, which was weird.
Yeah, it was going through that time. Even Disney did this. Fucking Shanti, the head hyena in Lion King, looks like Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, I don't know. I've never looked. I think I might have seen a picture of Whoopi Goldberg. I can't remember that well.
Yeah, but so there's it was going through that time period where for some reason every animated character needed to look like who was voicing them.
Weird.
Because I said, Shanti had it where she looked like her voice actor. Fucking Oscar has it where he's Will Smith.
Yeah. You know something about Shark Tale though? What's quite sad. Robert De Niro, who's probably the greatest actor ever. I mean, he's been in some amazing films: Goodfellas, Casino, Raging Bull, Once Upon a Time in America, Untouchables, Heat, Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, Deer Hunter.
God, I just realised something else. Shark Tale's just an animated Godfather, but worse.
But I was gonna say though, that's his most success. Oh yeah, Godfather 2. Robert De Niro was in that. But the thing is. Yeah. He's been in so many films, and Shark Tale's done the best. Shark Tale's been the most successful. I mean, I know it's probably because it was for kids, but it's just sad really that people don't appreciate true art.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with a lot of bad kid movies tend to do good because people watch them when they're younger, and then they have the nostalgic goggles on, so it stops them seeing how bad it is.
Yeah,
for future, because they just remember it as their thing for a childhood. It's this movie used to be really good. That happens a lot with games as well, the Sonic Adventure games. They're not well designed, but a lot of people say they're the greatest Sonic games because they have the nostalgia goggles on and can't get them off.
Very worrying, very worrying.
It is. I will admit, I played Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 growing up as a kid. I did like them, but looking back at them, they are buggy messes of games.
Yeah.
They're not well designed at all. And I will admit that. Being in the situation I'm in, I've learned to remove the nostalgia goggles.
Yeah.
And things for how they are. So
I think
that's how I'm able to see past a lot of this stuff. Even movies I used to watch as a kid that I still love, I will admit when they're shit.
Fair enough. So yeah, Shark Tale, bag of arse. Now on to something good. The Incredibles.
No, this is a good one.
Might be my personal favourite animated film when I was younger, because it was just such a kick-ass hero film. I absolutely loved it.
The thing thing is, like, Incredibles is a family film. I don't mean family films as like you're supposed to watch it with family, as in the story is about a family.
Who become
It's
heroes.
just a family film that features people with powers. Because, like, there's a bit where, like, his wife thinks he's cheating on her.
Yeah.
Like
It's quite funny
that.
banter.
It's a family movie, just happens to feature superheroes, but it's still a really good movie. Like, you've got that, family dynamic.
Yeah, totally,
Like,
man.
the dad's one of those, even though he keeps making mistakes, you can tell he's trying to do his best for him as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like, there's even the bit, like, where after he makes that mistake, the guy's like, we can't move again, the kid's just got settled.
Yeah.
So it shows that, like, he keeps making mistakes because he remembers his life as a hero, but he also knows that every time he does it, he puts the family into trouble.
He keeps throwing his boss through the wall. I mean, what a bloody lunatic.
Also, swear to God, his boss is your standard, like, stereotypical, like, corrupt businessman who caters only to the fucking rich. Just listen to his dialogue and you'll see that.
Yeah,
exactly
I mean, Bob Parr says, ain't we supposed to help our people? And he says, we're supposed to help our people!
And he's just listing off a bunch of people who are fucking rich and don't need
Yeah.
help. Who's helping them out, huh?
Yeah.
Like, he's your stereotypical corrupt businessman who caters purely to the filthy rich. That's it.
Yeah, well, the problem is, you know, that's why some small businesses get shut down, because they cater to people they only see as important, instead of catering to just someone who wants to buy something. But yeah.
Yeah, but, like, there's a fine line you need to hit.
Yeah. But,
Like, it's like we've had in our discussions. Going too much of one way or the other is not a good thing. You need to hit the fine line to get both.
mhm.
And a lot of places don't hit that fine line.
Yeah. Because it's
They
like,
either cater too much to one or the other.
because the problem is, it's like some pubs only care that, like, there's different ways people run businesses. I know we're going off topic a bit, but, like, some people only suck up to people they think are important. Some people go against people who are slightly important just for the fun of it and just to be edgy. And it's like some pubs, you know, they only care about their regulars and they don't care about new people who come in.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get anywhere by being that in life, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Syndrome was a bit of a piece of shit. He was just an
Syndrome was a
arsehole.
good villain.
Yeah, but he was such a prick, man.
Oh yeah, no, he was a prick, but he was also a good villain because he represents that, like, toxic fandom to a degree, in the sense that, like, those fans who believe they're owed something because they're fans.
Self-entitled fans, yeah.
Yeah, he represents those in the sense that, like, they're the fans that believe that because they're fans, the person they're fans of does, like, owe them something.
Yeah, very
And,
weird.
like, he believes that because he's Mr. Incredible's #1 fan, he deserves, like, to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's also relatable in the sense that your childhood hero just kind of threw you under the bus.
He was
even though it was your fault.
At that moment in time, though, he was quite busy. He did have people to save.
But it's one of those, like, you can see why he became evil when your supposed hero turns their back.
I'm your #1 fan! You're not affiliated with me!
Yeah.
These memes have...
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
these films have such kick-ass memes in them.
Yeah, also,
Honestly.
the fucking, like, there was a guy in the movie trying to commit fucking suicide.
Oh, yeah, that was dark.
Yeah, like, and Mr. Incredible saves him, and they get
And then he gets sued! I thought, what the bloody hell is going on? He saved a man's life, you motherfuckers!
Yeah, he's like,
I was
saved
so
your
angry
life.
at
You
that.
didn't save my life, you lose a bet. I don't remember what the guy said, I couldn't make it out.
It was so
It
bizarre.
sounded like he said, you did save my life, you made me lose a bet, or something.
Yeah.
That's probably not at all what he said, but it's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was dark as fuck.
He didn't ask to be saved, he didn't want to be saved. I saved your life! I mean, I can relate to Mr. Incredible. I'd be so angry if someone was annoyed at me for saving their life.
Yeah, but to be fair, it did break most of the bones in his body that crashed, because he's in a fucking neck brace as well.
True.
So I think he would have preferred to have been dead in that situation, because that shit fucking hurts.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Like, I've never worn a neck brace. I've never had to, but Jesus Christ, like, I can imagine the fucking pain and mild paralysis that requires.
Yeah, but
Because the thing is, your neck connects to most of the rest of your body. If your neck gets damaged, it can legit paralyze most of your body from the head down. So being a neck brace, his body's going to be suffering major, like, paralysis in areas. So
Yeah.
his life's probably, like, he probably would legit been better off dead at that point.
Yeah, I do get what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, like, as bad as it is to say, there is a level of injury you get to where you would actually just be better off dead. As sad as it is to say.
I do get where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you do get to that point of it. You do get to that level. But anyway, yeah.
It is quite sad.
Yeah, no,
but I don't think Mr. Incredible should have got in trouble for it, though. He just did his job. He didn't know that this bloke would end up with life
because there was
injuries.
a law that heroes weren't allowed to do hero things.
Oh, okay.
That was the big plot of the movie, was like... I meant for the saving him is because, like... It's like, saving the guy who was trying to commit suicide is what sparked it, the main thing of the movie. But, like, I agree, like, he shouldn't have got in trouble for saving a guy's life. But I think what was getting hit there was... Oh, no, okay, Mr. Incredibles was the start of it, but if you pay attention to the beginning section, several heroes were getting sued for injuries as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he also gets sued for the bus he stopped because everyone there ended up in neck braces as well.
Yeah, I don't think they was in a bad position as that other bloke, though. I think they were probably just, like, temporarily injured.
Yeah, I think they were just injured because of the sudden stop he had to make to the bus.
Yeah.
Not bus, sorry, to the train.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, he got sued by them as well, and then several other heroes were getting sued for injuries. So, it started that law that was like, heroes weren't allowed to be heroes now.
I just want to say quickly, Edna is a national treasure. I know she's not English, but she's an absolute...
Oh, yeah, Edna.
She's such a legend. No capes!
No capes!
I love how that was actually...
A bunch of heroes who died because they had a cape. No cape!
Yeah, I love how, she foreshadowed Syndrome's downfall. Syndrome had them all beat.
Yeah, she did. She pointed out that, like, several heroes who got killed because of their capes, including one where their cape got caught in a plane jet engine.
Yeah,
the same way Syndrome also gets killed.
Yeah.
His cape gets caught, and he gets sucked into the, like, turbine of his, like, ship.
Yeah. Edna Mode. Legend. And it was amazing when she was going, "Pull yourself together, woman!" about... to Elastigirl.
You're Elastigirl!
Yeah. I love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Your baby can survive the temperature of 1,000 degrees! Or something. Oh no, the suits can.
She seems fucking insane when she says that bit. Just the fire in her goggles.
Yeah,
And, like,
terrifying.
the fucking smile she has.
Yeah, I think she's...
At a temperature of over 1,000 degrees.
I think she's just a bit of a superhero fan person.
Yeah.
Fangirl.
So she makes her costumes, so, like, she's probably got connections to every superhero. Incredibles 2, it was okay.
Haven't seen
but it literally repeated the conflicts of the first movie.
Oh, okay.
In a way, like, granted the villain, like, okay, the villain's kind of relatable with, like, Screenslaver.
Yeah.
Like, they're not as good as Syndrome.
Okay.
But they're not as good as Syndrome, no, but, yeah, a lot of the thing of the, like, even though at the end of the movie, of Incredibles 1, it was very heavily hinted that heroes were allowed to be heroes again. The conflict of the second one is them trying to get the law to allow heroes to be heroes again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's literally repeating the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the fucking Underminer, the villain they ended Incredibles 1 off on in a cliffhanger, is only there for the beginning scene.
That's quite sad.
Never shows up
Behold!
again.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he gets away. Is what's funny about it.
That's amazing.
He shows up for the beginning scene, gets away, never shows up for the rest of the movie.
That's
And
actually
the villain
hilarious.
is then Screenslaver. And the thing is, they try and build up it's a twist villain, but it's pretty obvious who it is.
Yeah.
Like, you can, like, if you're paying even remote attention, you can tell who Screenslaver really is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so Screenslaver's motive, though, like, you can tell me how you think of this as a motive or not. So, they want heroes to go away forever because their father got killed in a robbery trying to phone heroes during the time heroes weren't allowed to be heroes.
That isn't the hero's fault that he got shot. It was the criminal's fault that he got shot at the end of the day, it sounds like.
Yeah. But the way they see his Daddy went up because their brother's like trying to get Heroes back, right? And she wants them to go away forever.
Yeah.
And she sums it up as her brother is a child. He believes that Daddy went away because Heroes went away. Whilst she sees it as reality for itself. You can't rely on other people.
Yeah, but that's no reason to have a go at the heroes. I think, like...
Yeah.
The criminals made that decision to shoot him, the hero. If the heroes had accidentally killed him, then I'd understand. Like, if they busted through the wall and he went flying.
But it's because his dad, so their dad had close connections to two very popular heroes. Now, here's actually the dark thing. Both of those heroes were heroes that were killed by Syndrome, so you could argue they were already dead and he didn't know.
Oh my, that is deep, man. That is deep.
Yeah, so you could make that connection of the reason they couldn't get the phone he had that specifically goes to those two heroes didn't work is because Syndrome had already killed them.
Yeah.
And because of that, they didn't answer the phone while he was trying to phone them, and the robbers found him and shot him.
Yeah.
So so that's her motive is her father died trying to call heroes, so she believes that if her father hadn't tried to do that, he would still be alive. So she believes the hero should just go away forever.
I prefer Syndrome's motive, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Syndrome's is more entertaining, even though I haven't seen the second one. Syndrome's is just banter.
Oh yeah, I have seen it, and I was like, I'll just tell you right now, Syndrome is the better villain, hands down.
Yeah.
Screenslaver, they could have easily made Screenslaver a great villain, though, if they'd done it right.
Yeah.
Because the idea of, the name, their name gives away what their thing is. They hypnotize people who look at media. They'll hypnotize you if you look at a screen and, make you a slave.
Mm-hmm.
And, the thing is, they were building up to proper morals of, an actual motive, and then it was revealed that it's not, that's just, some bullshit they were putting on beforehand to get Elastigirl to try and investigate the case. And it wasn't all their actual motive.
Yeah.
So, Screenslaver's motive of what they build it up to be before it's revealed what actually it is, people nowadays are content to just watch other people live their lives.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? They believe that
Pretty deep.
people nowadays are resorting more and more to just watching other people live their own lives instead of doing it themselves.
Yeah, all the vlogging nonsense and all that shit.
Yeah, which, to be fair, is very accurate and representative of today.
Decent satire, but I haven't seen the second one.
Then, of course, when Screenslavers revealed who they really are, they reveal their actual motive, and it's like, well, you just lost points.
Yeah. All I will say, though, is Incredibles. The biggest problem with some Pixar films is that they're 10 years too late, you know.
Yeah.
That's my problem with some of them.
If Incredibles 2 had come out
2008
way sooner, it
should
would have probably done way better.
It should have come out in 2008, in my opinion.
It should have. It should have come out when the Incredibles were still incredibly relevant. Because then it would have actually maybe done better.
Especially as they had a bloody cliffhanger there as well.
Yeah, the thing is, they had a game that followed after the movie.
Oh yeah.
As well.
On the PS2.
Rise of the Underminer. But the Underminer was the villain, and it was actually a decent game.
Mhm.
But as I said, the Underminer doesn't even shows up in the beginning bit of the second movie, and then never again.
Mhm.
Even though he gets away, he was not caught.
Yeah. Anyway, we're on to 2005 now. We'll probably have to do this video in parts, so maybe part 2 in a few weeks or whatever. Or...
Yeah, sorry, if I'm dragging this out a bit.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool.
There's a lot of movies to go through.
Yeah.
We want to give them proper analysis. We don't want to just oh yeah, good movie.
Yeah, rather than just saying Ice Age good, Shrek 4 good, Shrek 3 bad. You know. It's better to go into detail.
Proper analysis on why.
Yeah. So for this part 1, the last thing I want to go over, in 2005 we had Madagascar, the trilogy. So let's just talk about that. Then we can end part 1 here.
The Madagascar trilogy.
Yeah.
Right, Madagascar 1. So. I think I know from talking to you about this, you don't agree to this opinion, but this is, what I see a lot of people agree with on Madagascar.
Uh-huh.
Madagascar is one of those trilogies where it actually gets better with each movie.
Yeah, I did disagree with you on that, to be fair, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that's what a lot of people, see it. A lot of people look at Madagascar as one of those trilogies that gets better with each movie.
Yeah. I mean, the first one.
I don't agree to that 100% either. Like that, I don't believe it gets better of each. But the movies aren't bad.
Mhm.
I do believe the second one's probably the weakest of the lot, though.
To be honest, when I was a kid, right, I thought all of them were equal. Personally, when I was 12 and I watched the third, I thought all of these are equal. First one best, second one slightly worse, third one a bit meh, but they're all around the same. Then I not rewatched them, but like I watched loads of bits of them, listened to a load of reviews, and I thought to myself, the second one is just a massive comedy, which is quite funny. The first one is good, but the story is a bit weak, and then the third one, first 20 minutes is good. It ends on a decent way to end the trilogy, with them realising their lives are a lot more exciting when they're out and about on it doing adventures.
Yeah.
But then the circus stuff just didn't interest me at all. Looking back on it.
Yeah, I can understand that. The villain of the third one. Sorry, we're out of order here. We'll get to that. Madagascar 1.
The Fusa were the villains, weren't they?
Yeah, the Fusa were the villains of the first one. But the thing is, with the Fusa, they're wild animals just trying to get food.
Yeah. You can't really have a go at them.
Yeah, and yet the movie depicts them as like these evil things. Like, I can understand that. Like, they need a villain, but they legit they're just trying to get food. Even Alex becomes like them after a point.
Yeah.
Because he can't eat anything, and he slowly succumbs to hunger pangs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I find it funny as well, like that, because Alex is a lion, the Pusa fear him because he's a bigger predator.
Yeah. Well, that's real life, isn't it? Real wildlife sometimes.
It is real life.
Yeah.
Funnier because it's actually the funny thing here. It's a lion. He's in the jungle. Lions don't live in the jungles. They live in savannas.
Oh, okay.
Which is what the second one gets right.
Yeah.
Yeah, tigers are what live in a jungle. Speaking of which, I'm surprised there wasn't a fucking tiger on that island.
Oh, okay.
Considering, it's a jungle, it's kind of where they live.
Yeah. Just one thing I want to bring up about the second one. Moto!
Oh yeah, fucking Moto.
He was such good banter, man. He was such a buffoon.
Nice, you say it, what?
I mean, he was just such a pompous idiot. He was just such a fool.
He was, he's a meme.
Yeah.
Also, I like how his, whole thing, the song sums up his character. He likes them big.
He likes thick bitches, which I can't really blame him.
Yeah. But that's literally, his only reason for, getting with, Gloria is because she was blonde.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, Melman, he wants to get with her, not only because she's thick and curvy, but also because he loves her rocking personality and her laugh and whatever else he said.
Yeah. Which is funny, because she laughs at the end. She's got the most adorable laugh, and both Marty and Alex are really?
Yeah, they're quite shocked.
Yeah.
King Julian was quite a good banter in the second one. How he thought everyone worshipped him. He thought, yes, they love me.
Julian was pretty funny in the second one. Yeah, I agree. He believes when we are here. I am your new king. This is how I celebrate.
Yeah.
he gets things completely out of context.
Yeah, it's just he's such an idiot.
Yeah.
He's funny though.
King Julian.
In the first one, he was okay, but he had the "I Like to Move It" song, and that was it. Really, that was all he was. And he was like, "Oh, Alex is our friend, Mr. Alex. I will bring him over."
Okay, now that we're reviewing them, I agree. Okay, there are some actually bits in the second one that are a lot funnier. The fucking old lady.
Yeah, she was hilarious. She was such good banter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If we're going off humor purposes, actually, I think the second one's beginning to pull ahead now. The first one follows the animals trying to escape the zoo.
Yeah.
Marty trying to escape the zoo, the others trying to get him back.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alex is content with his zoo life because he's fucking the ground he walks on is worship.
Yeah. And he gets pampered and looked after as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. But you gotta remember, going off the second one, that's the only life he's known.
True. But
because he got took away from his parents as a very young kid.
Yeah. But all I will say though, is as much as people don't rate the Madagascar movies much, some people obviously like them, but I mean, a regular person watching a film would probably think meh. I am sort of glad that they made a whole trilogy out of it, because there's just something decent about their journey. I don't know, it's nothing special.
I mean, you could have easily ended at the second one and said, that's that was their ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The second one ended in a good enough place where you could easily say like that's their ending.
Mhm.
And the third
Again,
one also had a pretty good ending.
I thought that they was going to leave it at the second one when I was a kid. To be fair.
Same. The second one, like I said, like it's like the Toy Story 3 aspect of the ending was perfect to leave it off.
Yeah.
They could have easily left it there and people would have been content.
Yeah,
Everyone was
totally.
dying to see what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like when you get these movies that keep going when they shouldn't, is if you end one with an ending that's like, well, people will be content with this, no one's going to want to see what happens next. Why make another one?
Yeah, true. And also, I think it's better to leave people wanting more than just pumping shit out and people getting annoyed and having bad memories about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
So Madagascar 1, the jokes were good, the story was a bit weak.
yeah.
Like I do somewhat like the you can see Alex trying to combat his hunger pangs and eventually losing to them.
You became a vegetarian and then died.
Well, he
couldn't eat meat.
He didn't.
Yeah.
They gave him.
Yeah, they gave him fish, didn't they? Yeah.
But like it's one of those things like it's like Alex kind of does represent there like what happens if a person starves themselves for however long.
Yeah.
You do eventually enter that point where you will eat anything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's the whole thing of like why people succumb to cannibalism. Like like a lot of the time it's not a choice, it's they have no other option.
Yeah, pretty barbaric though, but I get what you mean.
Oh yeah, no, it's barbaric, but it's one of those no matter what you say, like to yourself to try and make yourself feel better about it, in the end, when like survival kicks in, you're like most of the time you're gonna pick the thing that prolongs your life.
Sadly, sad but true. It is sort of human nature. I'd like to think.
Yeah,
I like to
there are
think.
a few people who actually like say that they wouldn't do this and actually wouldn't, but a lot of time people say they wouldn't do something, and yeah, when the chips are down, do it.
Yeah, I'd like to think that if it was someone I care about, I wouldn't eat them. But you can't say unless you've been in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't 100% say something, you know, because it's such a sad situation to be in, a very scary, sad situation.
It is. It's not a situation you want to be in. It's not pleasant.
Yeah.
Like to starve yourself.
Yeah, very terrifying. But I think we can wrap up part 1 nicely there. Hopefully part 2 will be about in a few weeks.
We didn't really talk much about the third Madagascar.
I don't know what there is to say.
Think about jokes on the second and first.
The chase in the third one was kind of cool at the start. The penguins were still decent banter.
Penguins seem to be the most consistent thing in the Madagascar movies.
Yeah, I mean, they had their own spin-off, but I never watched it, so...
Penguins of Madagascar, yeah, that'll be for the cartoon.
No, not the show. I mean, I did watch the show when I was younger. I mean, the actual film they did.
I didn't watch that either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched the Penguins of Madagascar when I was younger. That was pretty good banter.
Yeah, it was.
But one thing I was going to say about the first one quickly, I liked Marty's story about wanting to get in the wild, but then it became about Alex being hungry, and it is a decent theme, but like maybe you should have established that from the start. I don't know.
The second one covered them going to their actual home, Alex reuniting with his parents, and then we got the old lady subplot of her building a dam for the fucking people to try and survive because they lost their jeep to the penguins.
Yeah. Oh, the Monkey Union was... No, the Monkey Union...
The penguins, where they throw the old lady out the car. It's like, is she dead? She gets up, no! Turns the car in reverse and runs her over.
Yeah. The monkey...
Like the Grand Theft penguin right there.
Yeah, the Monkey Union was quite funny as well when the monkeys were getting angry at the penguins. The penguins were just using them for slave labour.
You're all male!
Yeah. Class, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what else I could say about the third one, though. I'm sort of stuck, really. Have you got anything you want to add?
The third one, so it's one of those. It's not awful. Like it's jokes like every other movie, hit or miss. Like a lot of people see it as the best of the three, but it comes down to personal opinion at the end of the day. Honestly, like looking back on it now, that you've done like a proper analysis of these things. I think I want to put it slightly ahead of the first one, but the second one I think is actually starting to take it now. We've discussed it a bit more.
Yeah, because of all the comedy, the jokes.
I know I said it was the weakest of the three a second ago, but like now we've discussed it a bit more, I'm remembering a lot more of the jokes in the second one. I'm actually having it pull ahead a bit.
Yeah, because the problem is if you don't remember the jokes from it and you just think, what was the story?
Yeah, because you gotta remember at the end of the day they are comedy.
Yeah.
And the jokes are what are going to make it stick with you, not the story.
Because if it wasn't for the joke, like, trust me, there are some comedies out there that have good stories, but some comedies, like especially like Madagascar, it's mostly joke heavy that make them great.
They rely on the jokes for staying power. If the jokes aren't good, then yeah, they're
screwed pretty much. I mean, if you think about story-wise, I suppose the first one was the best. Them being stranded on an island, there aren't many stranded island films apart from like Castaway.
Goes first, second, third, probably, because the third one's story is kind of just they're trying to get back to the zoo.
Yeah.
For some reason, even though that contradicts the plot of the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
And now there's a fucking animal control person chasing them.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, my camera's low on battery now, but I'm recording it on my computer as well, just as a... because through my mic. But yeah, I think we can end it there. Part 2.
Yeah, we'll end the first part here.
Yeah, so cheers.
Thanks for having me on.
No worries, man. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah. And I hope to see some of you guys at my Twitch, but if not, it's cool.
Yeah.
If any of this interests you, series currently I'm doing Divinity Original Sin 2 and Devil May Cry 5 on Hell and Hell mode. Both will be finishing by next stream probably. So yeah, if either of those games interest you for the streams, you could probably go watch those on my playback. And yeah.
So that's it then, folks. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And see you whenever. Goodbye. See ya.
Bye.